Don't miss my premiere with guest Robin Williams on the next Bonnie Hunt Show.
Monster storm. Hurricane Ike batters the Caribbean and takes aim at the U.S. Tonight, more evacuations are underway. Takeover. Two mortgage giants teeter and the Fed step in. How much will it cost you? The Palin effect. The crowd swell and a campaign changes plan. And swept away. A father and son lost at sea. Tonight, the incredible ending.
The Coast Guard rocks!
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. While you and I may not give much thought to where our mortgage check goes every month, the U.S. government does, and it hasn't liked what it's seen lately. And so today, history was made when Washington took the reins at the two organizations that back or guarantee nearly half of America's home loans, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. Both have lost billions on bad loans and falling home prices. The government bailout not only rights the ship, it could make buying and selling a home a whole lot easier. CNBC's Diana Olick reports.
It could be the largest federal bailout of a private company in U.S. history. Two companies, in fact, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
We have determined that it is necessary to take action.
The government will step in and temporarily run the two mortgage giants, ousting their CEOs and infusing billions of dollars into the companies. The government will also enter the mortgage business, buying up to $5 billion worth of new loans.
This comprehensive and complementary set of actions best meets our three objectives of market stability, mortgage availability, and taxpayer protection.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were created to help support America's housing market. They provide mortgage lenders with cash by buying loans, then packaging and selling those loans to investors all over the world. But as the housing market began to falter, so too did confidence in the two mortgage giants, who now own or guarantee nearly half of America's $12 trillion in home loans. Fannie and Freddie have lost close to $14 billion in the last year, thanks to falling home prices and rising foreclosures.
Investor confidence in these companies has gotten so low that they're not going to give any more money to these companies, and only the government now can shore them up.
The fear, as the housing market continued to falter, Fannie and Freddie would simply run out of money, effectively shutting down the bulk of the U.S. mortgage market.
It would be fairly catastrophic. It would be a devastating blow to the housing market, and that negative impact would be felt broadly in the United States.
The government's move should restore confidence to both foreign investors and to Wall Street, and it should make new mortgages cheaper and more available here on Main Street. But experts say it is unlikely, in the short term at least, to keep home prices from falling further.
The key thing this doesn't solve is all the inventory of unsold homes that are out in the marketplace. There's over 1 million in vacant homes for sale, in excess of what a normal market would have, and we have to work that off before the market finds a true bottom.
And even with today's historic move, that may not be until well into next year. Diana Olick, CNBC, Washington.
Steve Leisman, who you just saw in Diana's report, is CNBC's senior economics reporter. Steve, I know you've been following this story all weekend, yet you were surprised when the details came out today. What did you see? How did you react?
Well, yeah, Lester, as you know, we've been following this story since Friday when we heard that the government was going to take these two under conservatorship. The thing that was so surprising today was how involved the government's now going to be in the mortgage market. It's going to let Fannie and Freddie, under government ownership now, expand their portfolios, buy more mortgages. Plus, the Treasury now, the U.S. government, is going to buy treasuries outright. Lester, we've been here for 6 Sundays on emergency housing stories, and the government still finds a way to astonish.
Now, does this mean there's an open spigot? Is this on the taxpayers now, this risk of all these loans?
Yes, it is. Those $14 billion you saw that were Fannie Freddie losses, those are now going to be government losses. The only upside we have here is that when we give $1 of capital to Fannie and Freddie, we're going to earn 10% on our money. So that's possible. It all depends how much it costs the U.S. taxpayer, Lester, on how bad the housing market gets from here.
Steve Leisman, thanks so much. This is an unsettling weekend for millions of Americans from Florida to Texas who are nervously waiting for Hurricane Ike to reveal its final destination. After killing at least 48 people in Haiti, the Category 3 storm is taking aim for northern Cuba tonight. What's still unclear is how much of the U.S. is at risk. From Miami, here's NBC's Ron Mott.
In the Florida Keys, residents lined up to get out of Ike's way. hoping to duck the worst punches from this deadly storm.
I'm just trying to get out here with the kids.
Mandatory evacuations began at sunrise in Key West and spread across the entire island chain. With the hurricane expected to blow by in the next 24 to 36 hours, state officials quickly got to the point in sounding the warnings.
Do not hope, act. Today's your evacuation day. Tomorrow may be too late.
Overnight, Ike battered the Turks and Caicos Islands, damaging 80% of the houses on Grand Turk, according to the government. In Haiti, heavy rains flooded homes as far as the eye could see, forcing people to flee with whatever personal belongings they could carry. Roads used to deliver aid to areas recovering from Tropical Storm Hannah, which killed hundreds there last week, were washed out. And tonight, even more deaths are anticipated in the wake of Ike. The storm's track has been closely watched ever since building to a powerful Category 4 hurricane and making an ominous left turn toward the Caribbean. But that turn was welcome news here in South Florida, which was staring directly into the eye of Ike until a few days ago. Instead, it's Cuba that's bracing for the next wallop. NBC's Mark Potter arrived in the capital, Havana, this afternoon.
All of Cuba is on hurricane alert now, with more than 400,000 people already evacuated from the coastlines, mountains, and low-lying areas. A week ago, Hurricane Gustav devastated the western part of this country. Now Ike threatens the east and north coast. A particular fear here is that many of the buildings in this country, like the old colonial structures behind me, will collapse in the wind and rain, leaving thousands more here homeless.
Back in Florida, as homeowners prepared to take off, many carried hope with them.
I'm insured, so just leave it and come back and pick up the pieces later.
So far, Ike's left plenty. Ron Mott, NBC News, Miami.
NBC Weather Plus meteorologist Jeff Ranieri is tracking Hurricane Ike from Key West, Florida. Jeff, what's the latest?
Well, we are under a hurricane watch here in the Keys, and despite the mandatory evacuations, we are unfortunately finding a lot of people out on the local streets here in Key West. Meanwhile, Ike has wavered a little bit in his overall strength. Now a Category 3 storm. Winds right now at 120 miles per hour, moving west at 14, and the pressure drops slightly to 945 millibars. But what you'll note here is we're still seeing some substantial outflow in all four quadrants, and it's now setting its eyes, of course, on Cuba, making a second landfall in just the next couple of hours, where we are expecting 6 to 12 inches of rain and a storm surge that will top 10 feet. Now, here is the all-important track. We are expecting it to be parallel with the Keys by Tuesday p.m. as possibly a Category 1 or a Category 2 storm, and that should bring 3 to 6 inches of rainfall here, winds gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour. That's starting here in the Keys as early as midday tomorrow, and then again lasting for about a day and a half here. And what all models are pretty confident on right now, Lester, is that this storm will reemerge into the Gulf and become stronger. And of course, after that, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Jeff Ranieri for us in Key West. Thanks, Jeff. You can track Hurricane Ike on our website, nightly.msnbc.com. The storm's path is updated with the latest information from the National Hurricane Center. Let's turn now to politics and the race for the White House. 3 of the 4 candidates made appearances today on the Sunday talk shows, but it's the 4th that many people are eager to hear from. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell is traveling with the McCain campaign tonight.
With a quick stop at a restaurant in Albuquerque today, John McCain and Sarah Palin were shopping for salsa. And that buys valuable local news coverage in this battleground state. No big events for either campaign today. Instead, 3 of the 4 top candidates appeared on the Sunday shows. Senator Obama discussed abortion and an attention-grabbing comment he made at a forum last month about when life begins.
Answering that question with specificity, is above my pay grade.
Today, Obama was asked if he had been too flip.
Probably, yeah. And so all I meant to communicate was that I don't presume to be able to answer these kinds of theological questions.
On bipartisanship, McCain said he'd recruit Democrats and Republicans for his White House while cutting some salaries.
We've got to have people who are the best and the brightest. And I'll tell you, some of them, I'll ask them to work for $1 a year. They've made enough money.
And Senator Biden called out Governor Palin, telling Tom Brokaw that she needs to do interviews and not just rallies.
Eventually, she's going to have to answer questions and not be sequestered. Eventually, she's going to have to answer questions about her record.
The campaign says Palin will do her first network interview in the coming days, almost 2 weeks after her selection.
The response to her has been overwhelming. It's been incredible. She's ignited America. And I'm so proud to have her with me.
She's solo on the cover of Newsweek and a magnet helping build the largest crowds McCain events have ever seen.
The McCain campaign's hope is that she can help in those industrial battlegrounds in the Midwest where the hockey mom can pick up blue-collar voters, especially women.
Tradition is running mates campaign a lot separately to cover more ground. But Palin's plans to split off were scrapped. And for at least the next few days, the governor and McCain will stick together. Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Albuquerque.
The U.S. military is reopening the investigation into an airstrike in Afghanistan last month that may have killed as many as 90 civilians. American officials say they have new information that could alter their initial conclusion that only 7 civilians had died. Afghan and UN agencies claim that video following the raid shows scores of bodies, including dozens of women and children. It was announced today that U.S. General David Petraeus, head of American forces in Iraq, will officially relinquish his command next week. Petraeus, who is credited with overseeing the troop surge that curbed Iraqi violence, will become head of the U.S. Central Command. NBC's Tom Aspell sat down with the general today in Baghdad for an exclusive interview where he hinted at some upcoming news on troop withdrawals.
Petraeus' exit from Iraq comes at a time when there is increasing speculation about a reduction of America's 146,000 troops here. But today, he wouldn't talk numbers.
I'd rather not do that just because there are probably announcements coming this week that will lay out some of that, and I think that would, I don't want to preempt that kind of announcement.
As he prepares to leave Iraq, Petraeus says the success of the surge, 30,000 extra American combat troops who fought and lived alongside Iraqi soldiers to take and hold areas controlled by insurgents and militias, was a highlight. He worked with American and Iraqi troops in the field and talked with Iraqi civilians as the security situation improved.
We watched a soccer game, no body armor, no Kevlar, buying bread, talking to the merchants, and got a cell phone call from the Speaker of the Council of Representatives who reported that they'd passed 3 laws that day, not just 1, but 3, and they were very significant laws.
Petraeus moves on now to head Central Command, in charge of not only Iraq, but Afghanistan too, where analysts say more American troops are needed to take on a resurgent Taliban. Were there lessons learned in Iraq he could apply to Afghanistan?
You have to craft a strategy, obviously, that is appropriate to that particular context. And so that's by way of saying that you can't take everything that we've done here and transplant it to Afghanistan.
Perhaps the most important lesson Petraeus will carry with him is the will to win. Tom Aspell, NBC News, Baghdad.
One Nightly News continues on this Sunday. Storm surge, Gustav, Hannah, Ike. Why so many all at once? And treading water, an incredible story of survival in Florida after a father and son are swept out to sea. The dramatic rescue coming up.
Nobody put more into meatloaf. And she baked magic into every pie. That's how grandmas show their love. Marie Callender's does it with the tender white meat, thick gravy, and mashed potatoes in her country fried chicken dinner. And now, introducing a new take from Marie. 4 exciting new recipes, like creamy chicken and shrimp parmesan, and marinated beef and broccoli, all from Marie Callender's.
I have COPD, which makes it hard to breathe. But now that I'm breathing better with Advair, I can be my son's first mate.
For people with COPD, including chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both, great news. Advair helps significantly improve lung function. While nothing can reverse COPD, Advair's different from other medications because it's the only product with an anti-inflammatory and a long-acting bronchodilator working together to help you breathe better. Advair won't replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be used more than twice a day. People with COPD taking Advair may have a higher chance of pneumonia. Advair may increase your risk of osteoporosis and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking Advair.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm glad I could help. Ask your doctor how Advair helps improve lung function for better breathing.
Find out how to get your first full prescription free at advaircopd.com.
In my work, I depend on my eyes to capture the natural wonder of this planet. That's why I wear Transitions lenses. They adjust to changing light and help protect my eyes from UV damage, like sunblock protects my skin.
Ask your eye care professional today about Transitions lenses. To learn how Transitions lenses can help protect your family's eyesight, go to our website or stop by a Walmart Vision Center near you.
Sometimes life can be, well, a little uncomfortable. But when it's hard or hurts to go to the bathroom, there's Dulcolac Stool Softener. Dulcolac Stool Softener doesn't make you go, it just makes it easier to go. Dulcolac Stool Softener. Make yourself comfortable.
A live look at the fairly busy streets of Key West, Florida tonight, despite an evacuation there in the face of Hurricane Ike, which brings us to NBC News in-depth and concerns about a hurricane season that seems to be heating up, quite literally. In 1 week, 4 hurricanes or tropical storms have come marching across the Atlantic. So what's behind the busy season, and is it likely to continue? NBC's Chief Environmental Affairs correspondent Ann Thompson now on the gathering storms.
In the waters of the Atlantic Ocean, southeast of the United States, an assembly line of hurricanes.
Just where Hannah is right now. After that, the southeastern U.S. could also be affected by, at that point, Hurricane Ike. And then past Ike, we have Tropical Storm Josephine.
Paul, it's too much to process. Thank you, though.
A succession of dangerous storms leading some to wonder if global warming caused by man-made carbon dioxide pollution is making a bad situation worse.
I mean, there's evidence that these storms are forming sooner. They're lasting a bit longer. Some of them are a bit bigger.
This is the theory. Carbon dioxide raises the ocean's temperature, both at and below the water's surface, providing more fuel for any storm.
The storms get a little more intense, but in particular, there are much heavier rainfall.
But there is no general agreement on this point. Some scientists believe we are just in a natural 40-year cycle of more hurricanes. However, many do agree other man-made activities, such as coastal development, are why many of these storms seem to pack a bigger punch. Today, as much as 50% of the nation's population lives within 50 miles of our coastline, pressuring nature's defense systems.
We are impacting natural systems like wetlands, barrier islands, and so forth that perform a natural function as a buffer to the impacts of these storms.
Sometimes sacrificed to make way for waterfront homes and communities. How do they work?
The wetlands serve as a buffer, if you will, when the storms are just coming on shore. It serves as a sponge.
And can soak up much of the water that leads to flooding.
We need to be very careful and very selective at the types of development that we place there, including not only homes, but also community infrastructure.
Making sure that the things we do along the coasts and elsewhere don't fool Mother Nature. Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
Heavy flooding has hit parts of northern and western Britain. Royal Air Force helicopters were called out to rescue residents stranded by rising water following torrential rains there. Thousands have been evacuated and at least 6 deaths are blamed in the weekend storms. Water was also the problem for polar bears in Japan. Don't adjust your set. The bears at the zoo in Nagoya now have green fur from swimming in an algae-filled pond. Officials say the bears are fine, though their fur will stay green until algae growth subsides in the fall. That's just wrong. Up next, what life was like before Google became a verb, a tech revolution that started in someone's garage 10 years ago today.
I tried something new.
I tried something new.
I tried something new.
I tried something new to help make my heart stronger.
Stronger. Stronger. Smart Start.
Smart Start.
Smart Start.
New strawberry oat bites. Light crunchy squares made with heart-healthy oats. And the strawberry taste baked right in.
It's good to try new things. New is good.
Kellogg's Smart Start. One bowl stronger.
Steaming is such an important part of fresh Asian cuisine.
Our innovative steamer cooks right in your microwave.
For tender chicken and fluffy rice in a delicious sweet and spicy sauce.
New Asian-inspired Healthy Choice Cafe steamers in 4 authentic recipes.
Chocolate silk is what brought me to silk. It's creamy, it's tasty, it's fantastic. It's a great healthy alternative for me.
Silk has soy protein, antioxidants, and omega-3s, plus all the calcium and vitamins A and D of milk. Silk. Take a step forward.
Tired of morning coming in the middle of the night? Ask your prescriber about 2-layer Ambien CR. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep, and unlike other sleep aids, a second dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. Until you know how Ambien CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Plan to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with amnesia for the event have been reported. In rare cases, severe allergic reactions can occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic and can be taken for as long as your prescriber recommends. Like most sleep aids, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. To wake up ready for your day, ask your prescriber for 2-layer Ambien CR.
He says he accidentally shot his wife with a crossbow twice.
He fired it, and he did it willfully.
All new Dateline, Monday, 10/9 Central, only on NBC.
Monday, Keith Olbermann interviews Barack Obama, followed by the premiere of The Rachel Maddow Show. Monday, only on MSNBC.
Now a story that we admit required a whole lot of Google searches. But then how else could we quickly gather all the details we needed on the 10th anniversary of the search engine that changed our information age? On September 7th, 1998, the tiny startup incorporated and opened its new headquarters near San Francisco in this garage. Founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin, 2 Stanford students, thought it would be cool to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Google's mission then and now.
So they worked out of the garage, but they also got some rooms in the house as well. And there was a hot tub in the back that they had the right to use.
Susan Wojcicki was their landlord, then became a Google employee and a witness to the fastest growing business in history.
Accomplished a lot in 10 years.
Now with more than 1 billion searches performed every day, plus Google Images, Google Maps, Google Books, Google Finance, Gmail, YouTube, and the new Google Chrome browser, the company's share of the market is huge, perhaps 75%.
It's an extremely powerful gatekeeper of information, both for business as well as for culture.
I'm the king of the world! Just 10 years ago, when Titanic was a hit, you were more likely to buy tickets at the box office, visit the library for a book, and call a business for information. When was the last time you used one of these? Google, which makes money through advertising, is now a $140 billion company. Some worry the company is too big, disrupting traditional media, even threatening our privacy.
Google has a log of your deepest, darkest secrets and greatest hopes, your medical problems, your financial issues, everything you search for online, they have a record of it.
Google says it uses those records responsibly. And judging by clicks, millions around the globe seem okay with the so-called Googleization of everything.
What Google's managed to do in the last 10 years has secured it and Larry and Sergey a place in the pantheon of business and cultural history.
Another way of looking at just how big Google has become, its value is equal to Boeing, McDonald's, and FedEx combined. Up next here tonight, a father and son rescued at sea, the incredible story of their all-night ordeal and their recovery, just when all seemed lost.
Describe the 2 soups, please.
Hydrolyzed vegetable protein and MSG.
And the next one.
Chicken, 100% natural. White meat. Carrots. The Peterson Jacobs farms, I believe.
Unlike Progresso soups, new Campbell's Select Harvest soups never contain artificial flavor or MSG. Just real ingredients, real taste.
Thank you.
The first time I had silk,
My boyfriend said, oh, I found this. It's called Silk. I think it looks kind of good. Let's give it a shot. We literally sat down like we were in the taste test and ate it with our cereal. It was good. It was cold. It was good in the cereal. It gave kind of like the bland, healthy cereal a little bit of like a, you know, like a little bit of personality. It is such an easy thing you can do to start getting healthier.
Silk has soy protein, antioxidants, and omega-3s, plus all the calcium and vitamins A and D of milk. Silk. Take a step forward.
Steaming is such an important part of fresh Asian cuisine.
Our innovative steamer cooks right in your microwave.
For tender chicken and fluffy rice in a delicious sweet and spicy sauce.
New Asian-inspired Healthy Choice Cafe steamers in 4 authentic recipes.
All around the world, men with erectile dysfunction have taken 36-hour Cialis. Today, men can also be ready with another dosing option, Cialis for daily use. A clinically proven low-dose tablet you take every day, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Ask your doctor if a Cialis option is right for you. So when the moment is right, you can be ready.
She was shot in the head, execution style, and lived. A Today Show exclusive, Monday on Today on NBC.
Educating America, a report card, NBC Nightly News, Monday.
Finally tonight from Florida, an incredible story of survival. A 12-year-old caught in a riptide and swept to sea, and his father, who tried to save him and was seemingly lost as well. The Coast Guard searched all night but found no signs of the swimmers until they went back out early this morning. NBC's Michelle Franzen has details.
A father and son plucked from the Atlantic Ocean off Florida's east coast after spending nearly 15 hours treading water. Coast Guard photos capture the helicopter rescue of 12-year-old Chris Marino. His father, rescued earlier by a Coast Guard vessel, thanked rescuers and hugged relatives.
God bless the Coast Guard.
The Coast Guard says it is remarkable both survived the treacherous waters and rip currents.
They did an outstanding job, both of them.
Walter Marino and his son went swimming in the Ponce Inlet early Saturday night. When the 12-year-old ventured too far out, Marino tried to bring him back in, but the strong currents pulled both out to sea. By the time rescuers found them, they had drifted 8 miles east of the inlet, and father and son, who were separated during the night, were a mile apart from each other.
They had a lot going against them. The seas were a little rough right there by the inlet as well, but through the night it started calming down, and that must have helped them survive.
Hours later at a local hospital, the shock of the ordeal began to sink in.
I'm going to have to just cut this short right now. God bless all of you.
The Marino family says 12-year-old Chris, shown here in the Coast Guard helicopter, has autism. Doctors say he is doing well. A happy and dramatic ending for the Marino family. Michelle Franzen, NBC News, New York.
And that's NBC Nightly News for this Sunday. Football Night in America is coming up next, followed by Sunday Night Football. The Bears take on the Colts tonight. Brian Williams will be here tomorrow. I'm Lester Holt reporting from New York. For all of us here at NBC News, good night.
Heroes. September 22nd on NBC.
Sunday night is football night. It begins tonight when the Colts host the Bears. Super Bowl rematch. Wow. Sunday night is football night. Tonight on NBC.
Watch the local news leader, the Channel 4 News at 11 p.m.
What's tough on my budget? Food prices, gas prices.
Yeah, if I'd known fuel prices were going up this much, would have bought a more economical car.
High car payment, high gas prices, something has to give because I can't handle both.
That's why CarMax is the smart choice. We have thousands of high-quality, economical cars to fit any budget, and we'll buy your car even if you don't buy a car from us. Stop by or log on today. CarMax, the way car buying should be.
Give me a berry rocket squeeze. Extra oxidants. Check that. Make it a double orange swirl with a shot of ginkgo. Oh, yeah.
Wish you could enjoy a real fruit smoothie without leaving your car? Well, now you can, because I'm mixing real fruit with non-fat yogurt to make 3